Hello, welcome to the Winning Balance podcast. We are joined with one of my great friends, Joe.
What's up?
Thanks for jumping on, dude.
Thanks for having me, man.
I love it.
Happy to be here.
So the story of Joe and I, my first, what I call big boy job actually I was still in college, was at List Reports, which is where I met Joe. What was your title there again?
I was the head of growth there.
Head of growth.
Yeah.
I knew it was some big boy title. I was the one cold calling all day. So, but Joe's honestly, he's one of those, like, the happiest people that you'll ever meet. Just gives the best vibes always. And anytime that I'm around Joe, I feel uplifted. So I appreciate that, Joe.
Well, what I remember from bringing you on at List Reports was that we interviewed so many people and very few held to the standard of Tanner. And like you were our benchmark for hiring people. And I was like, who can work really hard? Who's got that like X factor that Tanner does? And like,
I appreciate it.
Like I feel like we were lucky to have you, and to see what you've done since then is absolutely incredible.
I appreciate it a ton.
You're crushing it.
It's crazy. I mean, I've had some growth, and Joe lost 65 pounds.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Was it 65?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So Joe looks completely different in all the best ways.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've been running every day.
I just run a lot.
Dude, good for you.
It's fun. And it's like it kind of hurts you. Like it's like, I don't know, what do you call it? Like self-flagellation. Like you're a glutton for punishment. That's what running is. But at some point it just became fun.
Dude, I'm training now for my first half marathon.
Nice.
Nothing cool, but just getting a little, but I've noticed like my mental health after just running for a little bit. I'm on like a 3-4 mile. That's like my max right now, and I'll slowly ease up. But I feel like
so much better.
Good after for the rest of my day. So
what marathon are you gonna run, or half marathon?
The Revel right now.
Where is that?
In Cottonwood Heights.
Okay.
It's like a lot downhill. I'm making my sound even weaker.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So it's not like probably there's no elevation. It's decline. So
when is it?
September 12th.
Maybe I'll run it with you.
You should, dude.
Let's do it.
But tentative, my wife, her birthday's on the 14th, and she is selling me hard on Europe. So
you should go to Europe.
Yeah.
You should make your wife happy, and you should go to Europe.
Exactly.
Those two things are like perfect.
So I was trying to get a group together to run it, but now I'm telling people to hold off until we finalize this.
Well, Wednesday, there are two other good marathons that have halves in Utah. So there's the American Fort Canyon one. That's also all downhill.
Really?
And then, the St. George Marathon.
When are they?
I don't know.
If there's one in October, I will sign up with you, Joe.
I think the St. George one might be like September, October.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe we just do that instead.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But Joe, you had a successful exit at SimpleNexus, went over to List Reports. I'm giving a high level, and then we'll dive into the weeds here and let Joe talk. But after List Reports, you went straight to Social Coach.
Yep. Started building Social Coach from the ground up. And
I love it.
Started in 2020. Like, back of the napkin idea of how this is all going to work was like 3 weeks before the world shut down with COVID. So that was really interesting timing. It was good and bad though. I'll tell you why. Because like perfect time to like just be heads down working on a project.
Yeah.
But bad in a sense of like trying to get people to do anything.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If there was no better timing than to like just be like, okay, we can just look inwards and start building while the world's just freaking out.
Well, I think too, like, I feel like COVID pushed a lot online in video too, right? Like versus maybe some more. So did that influence anything?
Yeah. You know what? I wish I was like a year earlier, because if we could have capitalized on like your home, you have to be on social media and like posting like through Social Coach, we probably would have been so much greater. But there was another thing that happened too at that time in like the mortgage and real estate world. It went crazy, right? You remember this, like rates went down to 2%. Housing prices went up through the roof, like 100% year over year growth, like year after year, like from 2021 and 2, like it was insane time. And so people had all these leads coming in, and they were like, I actually don't even I don't have time to think about social media because I'm too busy.
Yeah,
So I don't know. You could look at it. There's always, even the thinnest pancake has two sides, right?
for sure.
So I don't know.
I always say how blessed. Sometimes think I'm the luckiest person in the entire world. Just, I mean, one, I could go on and on. Being born to the family that I'm in, being born in America, like so many different things. But I feel like that part of my career of just having like the audacity to buy real estate pre-COVID
Oh my
and during
gosh.
COVID, when everyone said like, "What are you doing? This is the top of the top. It's going to go down." And like just trusting my gut or maybe my ignorance of just like sending it, and what that did to like position me in my career has been great. So
Well, dude,
yeah, it's
I hear this all the time. Like, oh, you just got lucky, Tanner. You're just lucky. You bought some real estate at this time, but no, it wasn't luck. You put yourself in position to be successful, right? And I think so many people think, oh yeah, if I could go back and do it, I totally would do it. But you actually took that step to like invest in yourself, learn real estate, and you invested in real estate, and then that was the right time. And what do they say about the best time to buy real estate? It was last year, right?
exactly.
So like
Yeah.
you just got to do it, and maybe this might be a bad time now because rates are higher and values have gone up so high. But I'll tell you, when we bought our house in 2019, and my neighbor right across the street, she was just an interesting woman. She was very like, I don't know, some people just like to compete a lot. And so we were always competing about different things. And she was always getting upset about like our pool guy parking in front of her house because that's her parking spot, like all these things, like, telling us like, oh, like, where are you gonna send your kids to school? And we were telling her the public schools, because it's like the reason why we bought this house, because it had like the best schools in the
Yeah.
area. And she's like, well, if you really loved your kids, you would send them to private school. I'm like, well, we do love our kids, but
Oh my
we also have 4 kids, and like I'm planning on sending them to college. Like I can't afford like all these things. To go, well, make your different priorities. Anyway, she also told us, like, you guys are so dumb for buying this house right now. This is the absolute top of the market. We're gonna sell and we're gonna go rent down the street for like a year or two, and then we're gonna come back and buy in this better house for like way less money. So you guys were super foolish for buying this house. So they ended up selling like 8 months after we bought ours. So like right before COVID, and so it was like 2020, and they the people who bought that house, their value doubled in the last couple of years, right? Like literally doubled that house. And so I just, I think about that. And I think about, like, we don't know what's going to happen with
Yeah,
real estate ever. Right.
exactly.
And we also, like, you should never sell real estate. Don't sell your house. Keep
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
You never know what's going to happen.
my rule is always, I mean, this is what my mentors taught me, so I don't want to take credit for it, but be opportunistic in every market.
Yeah.
And like that's something that I've taken serious, and luckily it's panned out. And so there's always L's, but the wins luckily average out to be better than the L's, and it's worked out. But yeah, less talking about Tanner in real estate. I want to hear about Joe in your journey. I'd love to hear. I mean, your accelerated career path to where you got to social coach, and please like talk about you and Natalie's conversations and how that was with kids, and
Oh man.
the exit after SimpleNexus, and what you and your family like affording that home in
Yeah.
California. Like, I'd love to hear all about that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. So I got my degree in advertising and public relations, and mostly chose that because I wanted like the quickest way to get done with school, because I didn't really like school very
Yeah.
much. And I'm like, and I just have a natural knack for like marketing and things like that. And it was really fun. I really enjoyed studying advertising and PR. Like it was like really interesting to me. So it made schoolwork really interesting, where like middle school, high school was like just a grind, and I was always a not a great student, and my siblings were all really good students. My parents really were always super like like not accommodating, like praising my siblings for being smart. So I always felt like I was the dumb kid. And if you're watching this, I know you love me. So I know that's not the bad thing, but because I've got really, really great parents who are like the most supportive and amazing parents. But as a kid, you always like compare yourself against your siblings. And like,
Yeah.
I always saw my brother and my sister as like, they're so smart. They got together and I'm just like, I must be dumb because I can't like get these good grades. Right. Anyway, suffered through school, got my degree in advertising PR, graduated, and it was like such a depressed economy in 2005 when I graduated. Like there was not a lot of jobs. Like I was looking for all these advertising and PR jobs and they were paying like $25,000 a year. And I was
Jeez.
like getting like marrying my college sweetheart. And I'm like, I'm gonna get married. I have to be a grown up now. I can't be making this kind of money. And I had a buddy who graduated the year before me who got a job at a mortgage company. He said, dude, I made $100,000 last year. Now, you remember, this was like the subprime mortgage time. So like everybody in the mortgage business was making a ton of money. I was like, I'm weighing my options. Like, do I like, or I could probably do sales. And I don't know what mortgage, how to spell that. It has a T in it. I don't know where that is or how to deal with that. But I'm like, I think I could probably do that. And so I went to go work for this mortgage company and quickly like picked it up. Like it was easy to do. And like, I found some pretty good success. And, but I uncovered really quickly that this lender was not doing right by their customers. And so it was a subprime lender. And I like remember I asked my manager, I'm like, hey, can you help me understand this loan structure? Like the system's telling me it's going to save these people $800 a month, but like it's a 1-year arm with a 3-year prepay penalty. And I'm like, so, and like with the index creeping up and like what was going to happen after year one, after like the second year, they're going to be paying more than they're paying right now. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't think this is a good deal for them. And he said, Joe, don't ask those questions.
Goodness.
And I was like, I went home. I told the whole story to my wife and I was just like, I can't like in good conscience do this to these people. Like I can't do this. Like my eyes are open. Like this is horrible. I don't like mortgage. I don't like this. I gotta get out. And so I started looking at different jobs and I ended up going to work for a credit union and it was much more reputable and like it had this great relationship with the university and like it was actually like doing the right types of loans and did that for a couple more years. But and had great success in different niches and all those kind of things. But I always just felt like selling mortgages isn't my thing. My dad was in software growing up. I grew up in the Bay Area, and so like product and sales and technology really were my love. And so I remember talking to my dad. I was like, Dad, I don't like what I'm doing. I like on by every measurement, this is a success, but like I'm not feeling fulfilled. And he's like, he just kind of sat there and thought for a minute. He said, well, what do you want to do? And just like very open-ended, like any good dad, like not prescribing, but just asking questions to help uncover, like, what do you really want to do? And I was like, well, I want to like be like you. I want to be in technology. I think I see that as being a really great career path. He said, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you find every software company out there that sells to mortgage companies and banks and credit unions, and you can leverage your experience
Mm-hmm.
having sold mortgages into a sales job there. That could be a great first entry. And so I'm like, that's a great idea. I love that. And what a wise counsel from my dad, right? And so I started Googling around, and this is 2008 or nine. And, there's not a lot of like the internet is not what it is today. So things were hard to find, but there was National Mortgage Technology magazine at the time. And I might have butchered the name, but I think that's right. And they had like the top 20 service providers for mortgage lenders. And I just called all 20 of them. I cold called them and I said, hey, I'm a mortgage lender. I want to be in tech sales. Like, can I work for you? And I got like 5 responses out of the 20. Like, so the other 15 didn't even call me or respond. And of those 5, 3 gave me interviews, 2 gave me a job offer, and I took one.
Let's go.
And it was really funny though. Again, thinking about the family. We were living in Colorado at the time. That's where my wife is from, and we graduated from college there and everything. And I was like, hey, just so you know, like I applied for this job. this technology company, but it's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And so we had a good laugh about it. And she, she's like, okay. And I'm like, I definitely will not go there. Right.
This is pre-remote work.
This is pre-remote work. So
Yeah.
we'd have to move, and we had just had our second kid, and, just kind of starting a life there near her parents and family and all this kind of stuff. And they gave me a job. They gave me an interview, and I flew out there, and I flew out there in February. And I don't know if you've ever been to Milwaukee in February.
I can only imagine.
It's not a great place to be. But anyway, I went there and actually fell in love with this company. The company's called MortgageBot. They were the pioneer of the online loan application in the early 2000s. And great leadership, amazing opportunity. They were growing pretty fast. And I flew back to Colorado, and I was like sitting there talking to Natalie. I was like, hey, I know I joked about this, but I actually really think this might be a good opportunity for me, but really for our family to progress the career and do something different. And, to Natalie's credit, she was that was the first time of many times throughout our career and our life where she just said, I believe in you. I trust you. And I don't know, I'm sorry I'm getting a little misty-eyed about this, but I love you, and I know that together we'll make really good decisions. And that was the first time, and it happened again and again and again, where she just said, I get it. I'm all in on this, and we're going to do this together. And I'll take care of the family. I'll make sure everything's good at home. You just go work. And we did it. We moved to Wisconsin, of all places. And Tanner, we fell in love with it. It was such a rad place to live. The job was great. I learned so much. And it was the first time I really felt proud about what I was doing with my career. And I was that's a game changer. When you have personal pride in what you do, every day is fun.
So true. Makes you feel like you're not working.
Yeah. Right. But then after a year and a half there, I got recruited by Ellie Mae, which is the largest loan origination software company, and to do sales for them.
Really?
And so that would be from kind of inside sales, kind of you were at List Reports, to a big boy sales job, right? With a territory. And so then they're yeah, but you have to either choose New England or the Southeast to go and be in this territory. And so again, same thing. Natalie, what do you think? Let's do it. And so we moved to New England, and it was awesome. We moved to Boston. I became one of the top sales reps there. They liked that. So then got a job opportunity at their corporate headquarters in the Bay Area, and just kind of grew the career from there. Ended up moonlighting at SimpleNexus. We kind of made that whole thing work. And, very early on there, and based here in Utah. And again, after being ping pong around the country every year and a half, right? Milwaukee, Boston, the Bay Area, we were there for many years, but then it was we were kind of at a crossroads with SimpleNexus. Are we going to make it really big and go all in, or am I just going to go do something different? Cause it was getting too big to be remote. And so again, counseled my wife, prayed about it, and we moved to Utah. And man, what an amazing experience that was. Living in Utah, so much fun. Building SimpleNexus from the ground up. I mean, it was all we were at the time was a little virtual business card and online calculator, to then becoming the largest point of sale platform in the mortgage industry, and then being sold for $1.2 billion to Encino, right? And I wasn't there at the time of the sale. I got out at the first round. So I can't take all the credit for that, but we did get it to $100 million valuation, and,
Which
had
is insane.
12 million ARR, and was just growing. We had 250 lenders on the platform from 2, right? So we grew up from 2 to 120 or 150 lenders, or 250 lenders in 4 years. And that was awesome. It was it was the right, like real estate, right?
Yeah.
Right product, right time, right market. But there were other point of sale platforms out there that were also trying to do it. So it was also the right team.
Yeah.
Right. And the guys that I worked with, and gals, everyone at that company was rowing the boat in the same time, right? And it was a special group of people, a special product, and we did the right thing by our clients, and we were growing the right way. It was bootstrapped. We wanted to do the right thing all the time. And when you do that, when do right by your clients and you work hard and everyone's working hard in the company, you're going to have success.
That fires me up. I love that. And I mean, hearing that story from start to finish, I mean, it's obvious the role that our wives play in this, and like how much credit they deserve. And same boat for me in my life. Like, yeah, to the point like she believes in me when I feel like I don't after some L's, and it's just such a superpower. So I want to hear more about like post exit on SimpleNexus, or your exit, your that side. I mean, Natalie's sacrificing, she's moving every 18 months. I mean, you've been sacrificing and head down building your career, and then you have, I mean, what employee were you at SimpleNexus?
I was employee number 3.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So you really saw this thing. You saw this thing.
Well,
through.
Actually, number 4. I take it back. Number 4. Yeah. Number 4.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was crazy.
So, I mean, talk me through what that meant for your family when, I mean, whatever the dollar figure was, but it's just, you're getting rewarded for all of this sacrificing that you and Natalie have done. Like, walk me through that. Was that like, I can do whatever I want? Was it empowering? Was it like, this is cool, what's next? Like, talk me through that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, like, maybe a step back is like the time with SimpleNexus was like the craziest time of my life, because literally was on the road like 3 out of the 4 weeks of every single month.
Jeez.
Right. And it was like Monday through Wednesday, Monday through Friday. Like, it was like a lot of time. So got my diamond medallion status on Delta, which was awesome. And, a lot of points that turned into a lot of really cool trips. Right. But like, it also meant that my wife was at home with, at that time, 4 kids, including a newborn, when we moved here in 2016. Like, that's a lot. Like, I don't think you can underestimate how hard that is. Like, moving to a new place. And granted, we've got a lot of family here, but so like support system and everything for her. But like, you move somewhere new and like, it's tough.
Oh yeah.
It's so hard. I mean, I know you guys did that, Washington back to Utah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard moving.
It really is.
And it's hard on you as the provider. It's hard on your wife. It's hard on the kids too, man. Like, my kids went to a bunch of different schools in elementary school. And to deal with, like, as the wife and mother, like, you bear the brunt of that and all the emotions, probably my bad attitude a lot of time for being grumpy and, on being away and trying to come back. And I remember my dad traveled a lot as a kid too. And like, you get into a routine without your dad or your husband. And then when they come back home, it's like, you're actually kind of in the way, like, get out of here. We've got things going. Right. So it's like, that's like, it's hard on everybody when you're gone a lot, and like, you have to be really intentional about your time at home. And that was really hard for me to learn, like, how to be a good husband and a good father and travel and be building a huge business at the same time. Like, that's not an easy task at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I ever got it right. And I don't know if I'm getting it right now either. I'm traveling right now. I'm away from home. But I think the lesson I learned along the way is like, just have more patience. That's like the most important thing, is like, always more patience. And then being intentional about your time when you're home. And like, this stupid thing takes up so much of our time and our attention. And like, why do we give our attention to this thing when we have these kids and your wife who who should have your full attention?
It's so bad.
Right? It's horrible. And it's addiction.
Oh,
It's worse than cigarettes, I think.
I think that's like my biggest Yeah, like my phone, that's what I feel pulls me away from my family the most.
Yeah.
Like even if I say I'm home by 5:30, 5:45, I'm present. I mean, I strive to be present, but I have a lot of days where I get pulled into my phone, whether it's work, whether it's sports, whether it's this, that, or the other. And I can just feel the disconnect with like my family. And so
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I'm constantly trying to be better at that, but it's hard.
Well, I
It's
don't even, what's the crazy part about it is like when you're on it, you don't feel that disconnect. But if you're sitting not on your phone and you see somebody else, it's really apparent how much
oh
they are
yeah.
disconnected. And so like that has been emblazoned in my mind. Like I need to like make sure that that is gone. Right. So I've been really trying to be like, I'm not doing great at it, but I'm really trying to
Yeah.
be like, put the phone away.
Yeah, it's hard.
And it's hard, especially like in your business and mine, it's like
We don't have hours.
there aren't any hours.
Yeah.
It's all day, all night. And you have to be present
Exactly.
for your clients and your employees and everybody. It's hard.
Yeah, I saw probably one of the most powerful pieces of art that I've ever seen in my life was this photographer who captured like this group setting where everyone was on their phone and he like photoshopped and removed the phones and it literally looks like they're like meth addicts, like their posture, how they're
Wow.
responding, they're slouched, they're like disconnected. And like that's what he was trying to portray is like, look how much this disconnects us. And it like freaking hit me. I'm like, goodness, this is like,
Yikes.
this is a drug. And it's yeah, it's wild. And you can't get rid of it because it's part of our everyday life. So
It
it's
makes me grateful to have grown up in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I do see like when my kids' friends come over, like there's a portion of time, it's not the whole time, but like a good portion of time where they're like literally sitting on the couch being together, but being separate.
Yeah, silent.
Oh,
Yeah, it's scary.
oh my gosh.
It really is scary.
Yeah.
Back in the N64 days.
Yeah, that's the
you're-
golden eye.
Yeah.
That's real engagement, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. But
That's fun.
yeah, I mean, I think so. Family time has to be number one, right?
Yeah.
And I think when that becomes like, that's what we're all working for, right? Is like the reason why you build a business, the reason why you go to work is to support your family. And if you can keep that in your forefront of your why every day, then I think you're going to be successful. And whatever that is that you're doing.
Yeah. No, I agree. And Joe, just so you know, like, I mean, I've been trying to plan you jumping on this podcast for some time. Like, it's hard because you're out of town and stuff, but like, you've always been on my mind. Like, Joe would be a perfect guest. And the reason being is because, like, it's obvious how much family is a priority in your life. And it's obvious, like, your kids look up to you, like, to a very high level. Now I'm getting emotional, but it's like, that's what I strive to be for my kids. If I can't, like, that's so much more important to me than business success. And if I can have both, then amazing. Like that's great. But if I were to choose one, it would be obvious, right? Of choosing my family and my kids. So I've looked up to you a ton for that. And like that role you've played in my life of just that example. So
well, I appreciate that. There's a famous quote, no success in the workplace will substitute for a failure in the home.
So true.
And that is everything, right? Our families are the only thing we had to take with us. And so that has to be number one.
Yeah.
And I think, I see this with you and your family too, but like that is the most important thing. And I think that like the relationship that you have with your kids and your wife is like a direct reflection of how you feel about them. Right. And so if you really love your family, you really love your kids, you really love your wife, like you will have a great relationship. And I just like, I think it's nice you just say your kids, you think my kids look up to me. And maybe that's true. I think so, but like, it's just because I think that they're so awesome. Like I genuinely like love them, and they're all so different, right? And you love them for exactly who they are. And I don't know, I feel like the luckiest guy in the world because I really do have what I would consider the best family. Like
Yeah.
we have so much fun together
You guys do. I
every
love it.
day, and like, yeah, and it's just like, and it grows and it changes all the time. Like my daughter's going off to college this summer. She's going to BYU, and like, I'm so sad to be losing like 1/6 of my family. Like there's a big hole, like impending doom is in my life right now that she's going to move on. And, it's like, I don't know how I'm gonna replace that in the home, but like, it's not really replacing it because it's just changing. Right. And I
Yeah.
think that every stage of your life and every stage of your family, at least this is what I'm hoping is it's going to be, it just evolves and becomes better and just meaningfully different. Right. And I think, you think about your relationship with your parents, right? You love them just the same as you always have, and maybe you have more appreciation for them, but like, you don't really think about, as a kid, I don't think you think about how your relationship is changing when you go through all those different stages.
Yeah.
They're thinking it, but you're not. But like, and so I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but like, I think that they need to feel that steady love through their changes and not treating it like it's a big deal, because
Yeah.
it's not a big deal of them. They're just excited to move on. You
Which
know?
is, yeah, my mom told me this after I had my first kid and my only kid, little Gigi. But she said, like, you never understand how much your parents love you until you have a kid of your own.
Mhm.
And that hit me because I'm like, yeah, you can't put into words, obviously, how much you love your kids. And it's just like, yeah, that was a powerful thing my mom shared with me. But I'd love to dive into the next stage. Like you had a liquidation event. What do they call that?
Yeah, that's
With
right.
SimpleNexus.
Yeah.
And you went to California straight
Mhm.
from there, right? Like
Yeah.
walk me through what that stage of life felt like.
Yeah. Well, I made a promise to Natalie when we left California, because that's where I grew up there. That's my home. We lived there, and just like, she loved it.
Your
I loved
parents
it.
were there too?
No, they had actually moved, but
Okay.
like, which is fine. Like, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I said, we moved here to Utah. I was like, look, 3 to 5 years, and I'll get you back to Cal. Like, I know you love it there. Like, I love it here. Like, that's where we want to be. And so I like stayed true to my promise. And when we were thinking about where to go, like what to do after, like we said, hey, we do love it here. We could stay here. We could, go back to California where we were at the Bay, and it was a lot of prayer and consideration, and we just felt really good about going back there. But we ended up in Southern California versus Northern California, and like, man, it's such a great. It has been. I mean, we've been there for 9 years, or sorry, 7 years now, and it's been so awesome. It's been such a great place for my kids to grow up, and you know, uh, yeah, it made things easier having a liquidation event, but like, we put all that money into like not touchable things like
Yeah.
college, investments, other investments into the house. But more like the biggest investment was into social coach. Right. So I wanted to bet on myself
Good for you.
and grow this business and not have to and do it the right way, that, not taking on a ton of investment, and having other people structure how your company works. And so, yeah, started building it, and it was a couple years before we saw a paycheck again. And so but you grind it out and you do it. And now it's turned into something really meaningful. We've got 60 enterprise clients nationwide, including the second largest lender in the country, and 7 out of the top 20. We've got nearly 10,000 users on there, and
That's
posting
insane.
tens of thousands of pieces of content every month. We have an awesome video editing team that all they do is edit videos, and they're editing thousands of videos every single month. It's so cool to see something that an idea that you have end up impacting people. And the coolest part about it is not just the numbers, those are cool, and I think it's fun, but the two things I'm the most proud about with Social Coach is, one, being able to employ people and getting to see them having this company and the growth that we're all doing together, right? But like that is supporting people's families is super rewarding. That's number one. But two, like seeing the success that our users are having, like these loan officers and real estate agents that really go all in on social media, like, and you know this better than
Yeah.
probably anybody, like the success that they're having is driving real revenue and making them and impacting their families a lot, right?
Oh my, yeah.
Like we did a case study with one of our clients the other day, or just completed it pretty recently, and they tracked every single loan that they were doing, and if it was like a social assisted loan or not, right? That was like kind of the term, like we're using a social assisted loan. Like, did you get this referral from there? Did they find you online or whatever? And this company, they grew like each loan officer's pipeline and actual closings. So this isn't just pipelines, it's actually closings. On average grew 12%. So they got 12% more business year over year came from social media than did the year before. But even more important was, and we saw this like across all of our clients, is if those that adopted a strong video strategy. So posting like at least once a week. Okay. If you post at least one video every single week and you do it for a period of time, at least 3 months, those loan officers and real estate agents saw 22% increase in their business year over year. That came directly from social media. And like time and time again, I'm hearing people get like these loan officers and real estate agents are saying, I'm getting an average of 2 to 3 new closings every month from social media now.
Wild.
Like think about that.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is just showing up on camera and being consistent.
Yeah, I mean that's literally my exact story. I've been cold calling. When did I join List Reports?
Yeah, 29 or 2018?
Yeah.
No, 17, 2018.
Yeah, it was 2018 or 2019. Yeah, soon after my mission when I was still in college. Yeah, it had to be
19. It was 19.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, from then until probably 2 years ago, 2024, I was cold calling every single day for hours. So for 5 years straight, just cold calling, making like feeding my family, just getting cussed at, and the grind, and not speaking ill of cold calling at all, but like ever since my social media picked up, I have not like I don't cold call at all. 52% of my deals last year came from social media.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And the other were like SOI, which you could like my sphere, which I feel like also could be implement like, oh, Tanner does real estate.
They remembered you because you showed up in their feed.
It's a touch point. Yeah. So I'm like, I could speak on the benefits of social media all day, and that's why I love what you guys are building over there. And the cool thing that I've noticed is we talk about like scaling a business, and cold calling is really hard to like scale in your own business. But for me, of like just trying to master the art of social media, the better I get, the more people I reach, the more time I free up, the more deals I get. And that has allowed me to be working on my business way more historically than just prospecting for hours a day. So that's been the eye opener for me of just really, really getting strategic. And that's what I've loved about my world and having control over that.
Oh, but Tanner, you're just a natural. It was easy for you. You never struggled, and you didn't try to like, it's like, but for me as the average person, this is not going to work for me.
Yeah. That's
like, what do you say to that? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm turning
I love it. That's like, yeah. I mean, especially coming to Utah.
Yeah.
When Seattle, I had been grinding. I mean, even while I had tech job, I was always obsessed with real estate, always like getting after it. And I come to Utah and I did really well my first year, and it's, Tanner's an overnight success. It's like, which, yeah, the amount of hours, the amount of like, I mean, I keep talking about my L's and I'm pretty open about them, but the amount of like hits, the amount of risk I've taken, um, it's been a really, really long journey to get to where I am
Yeah.
today. And so, um, I don't care what personality type you have. There's always a place in social media for you, in my opinion. You just have to make content for the people that align with how you work. It doesn't have to be a radio, like Joe can talk. Yeah, Joe's got one of the smoothest tongues there is.
Whatever.
You
Not
know,
even
you do.
close.
You do. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a radio personality, TV personality. Like there's a lot of people that do extremely well in their niche. What has like, so I don't think there's many excuses there, but
You
yeah.
just got to do it. Like, I mean, it's really, I mean, and I see exactly what you're saying, right? I mean, when I look at, cause I can see everyone's video projects that come through. So occasionally I just browse through it and I
Yeah.
see like who's sending videos in, what do they end up looking like? And, I see every different type of person come through this, and it's old, it's young, it's every different shade of whatever color your skin is. It's all parts of the country. It's all like age, like levels of success. Like social media is kind of the great equalizer
Yeah.
because it's like basically free to do, right? I mean, yeah, you've got some amazing lights and nice cameras, but you can start with this.
Yeah.
You can start with your
Exactly.
phone and you can find success, and then you can level yourself up as you're getting that success. But like there's no reason not to do it, because you will find success on there if you are like, it's just like anything in life. If you're consistent with it, it's going to end up helping you.
Yeah. Well, and Joe, I mean, you're one of the best people to answer this question. You've built Social Coach in 6 years now to where it is, like a amazing, amazing company with lots of momentum. And you've probably seen a lot of what works and what doesn't. So
Mhm.
for a lot of the listeners, like I have a lot of real estate people that
Yeah.
listen, in the industry, lending, whatever it might be. But I mean, what do you see that's worked and what doesn't for people trying to break into it?
Yeah, I think there's probably two things that I see that like are the big indicators for success. One is just like we said earlier, just being consistent, right? Because I've seen really bad content work really, really well because they just kept on showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said earlier, like your sphere of influence is how you make money, right? And social media is how people connect today. The average American spends 2.5 hours a day on social media. Okay. So if you want to be more visible to more people, go where they are and just show up. That's number one. You just got to show up. You got to get over your fears and of whatever they are, and you just got to do it, because it just got to do it, right?
Yeah.
But two is really finding what's working for you and niching down, right? So I think people start very broad, and if you're in real estate or mortgage, let me talk about rates or about the market updates and things like that. Like I'm way up here in the clouds, right? And that's probably not going to work for you. So what can you be successful in? Am I a really good educator? I'm going to educate you on all the terms, the things that you're missing out on the loan estimate, right? And I'm going to go line by line on these things. I'm going to talk about every little thing because I'm a great educator and I can do that. Or I'm really great at investments, right? Like Tanner Litchfield, right? I am the guy who, if you're making over $250,000 a year and you live in Utah, like I can help you improve your portfolio through real estate. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Perfect.
because you've got it super clear, right? But so now you talk only to those specific things, right?
Yeah.
Or if I think about, a couple other clients, like they, they like are really funny. And so they do a lot of fun skit comedy,
Yeah.
right? And that works for them, right? Or I'm really good at about talking about different scenarios. And so I'm the guy who only talks about different scenarios I find over the time, right? So whatever that is that you can continually talk about and you're good at, focus on that. And then that's where you'll be successful, because the algorithms on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok like to put you into these little buckets or pockets or lanes, right? And the second somebody shows any kind of interest in one of those types of things that we're just talking about, they're going to show, like, and they recognize that you do that, you're going to show up in that feed, right? And that's where you want to be, because that's your ideal client.
Yeah. It's so true. I mean, I've been learning. I feel like I've been scared to niche down further and further, and I've gotten, as confidence has grown and I've seen it work. Now I'm like so confident in my niche, and it hasn't always been like that. It used to be like the investor, like agent in Utah, and now it's like my specific, like you make 250K plus and you want portfolio optimization, tax strategy, using real estate as more strategy than just buying and selling. But it's been quite the journey. And one tidbit I'll throw on that too, Joe, is like you talk about the consistency, and that I feel like if you can be consistent, you're going to be ahead of 95% of America.
Totally.
Which is, and I
just
think
showing up, you're ahead of 95%,
exactly.
90%, right? Because people just don't even do it.
Exactly.
And then what happens, and I'll let you finish your thought, but like when people are going to look at your online profiles, they're going to go check you out as a referral. If you're not there, somebody else is.
Yep, exactly.
But keep going with your thought. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's great. I was just going to say too, it's like if too many people measure success on like followers or likes or this or that, and like if I could preach one thing over and over with social media, it's just like get that out of your head. Like I've been posting every day for 5 years now.
Wow.
Like I shouldn't say, I mean like at least 5 times a week, every day, multiple times a week is what I should say, for 5 years. And I have just under 5,000 followers on Instagram. I'm not an influencer by any means. I don't have like that growth. I have, anyways.
But dude, you have 5,000 people in your database.
Yeah.
Right? That's like your followers are your database. Like
when
you think about like CRM kind of thing, but then that's great.
Yeah.
But then like the great thing is like people don't always necessarily need to follow you to see your content.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And like I know you've got content that has tens of thousands of views.
For sure.
Like imagine being in an auditorium with 10,000 people.
Exactly.
That could be you on a random Tuesday.
Yeah. No, it is absolutely wild. I mean, Facebook, I popped off somehow overnight from 3,800 followers to 11,000 followers.
Oh my gosh.
But the crazy thing is Facebook, like the reels or shorts out there, makes me almost like $0.
Yeah.
Versus my Instagram, which has half, makes me a lot more money. So I just like, I think it's such a scam that people talk about like followers being the results, when I think it's just like the consistency game. Even if you are talking to your 200 followers in your sphere and you're getting touch points, it's worth it just in that sense.
Totally.
So that's, and I know you know this, Joe, so I wanted to reiterate that for the audience. That's what I try and tell myself.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't care if you have 200 followers. That's great. It's better than 0.
Yep, exactly.
And you can show up in their feed, and like one of those 200 people will want to buy a house or refinance in the next year. So show up for them.
Exactly.
That's one more loan that you didn't have, or one more deal you didn't have.
Yep.
Then that one will turn to another one, and like someone else will be there in another month or 2. And like, it just grows.
Yep.
You got to start somewhere though. If you're going to sit and wait till you have more followers to be posting more, it's never going to come.
Yeah.
What comes first, the chicken or the egg, right?
Exactly.
You got to post. It took you 5 years to build that audience.
Yep.
And just, but how long did it take? Let me ask this. How long did it take you to find to get success on social media? Like any like referrals or deals?
So it's a really good question. I feel like my, like before I wasn't an agent. I was just a wholesaler
Yep.
and like building my brand because my mentors told me to build my brand. And it wasn't like my sphere was my target audience. It's like people that wanted to sell their house at a discount and didn't care about, they valued convenience over, which is super niche, right? So um I'll I'll leave that out. As soon as I got licensed, which was about like 3 years ago when I became an agent, it was like turning on a water spigot for like lead flow, which is insane. But I had built my personal brand as a real estate personality
Yeah.
for 2 years prior to that, and I didn't know when that would ever pay off because like I was in the wholesale investment world. But so it's hard. Like you could say 2 years, but it's when I became an agent at it. So kind of a loaded answer for
That's
you there.
interesting. You know, the National Association of Realtors puts out like their annual technology survey, and they found that 90% of agents are on social media, but not like they're just on there, right? But they found out of all different lead sources that are out there, like, you know, cold calling, door knocking, email marketing, you know, door hangers, social media, that social media is the number one highest quality leads that realtors get.
100%.
I mean, that's like,
It's not even a close second in my opinion.
not even close, right?
Yeah.
And then so I think, man, if that, like, the stats don't lie. So if that's the case, why would you not want to do that? And then for the mortgage, people in mortgage, it's like, okay, if you're getting most of your referrals from real estate agents, do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Be where they are, right? That's how they're going to find you.
It's so true.
Like, I'm guess I'm curious now too, like loan officers that you work with, how do you determine who to work with?
Great question. I have been spoiled to where I joined a team when I first moved to Utah, like a big team that helped me a ton, and was there for like a year. And he was their preferred lender.
Oh, nice.
And he's like one of the top producing
Sweet
loan officers in Utah. And so I've pretty much stuck with him, and we've grown together since, and he helps my business in more ways than I can count. 25 years experience. So I kind of got lucky in that sense, but I mean, there's probably 5 lenders that I have in my head that if he were to retire, which I mean, yeah, he's getting older.
Yeah.
All of them have like are friend of mine because of social media.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I like 100% like,
I think there's such a big opportunity. It's funny you say only 5, and like there's such a dearth of mortgage lenders on social media. Like there's not enough, which is great because like the ones that are on there stand out a lot, right?
Yeah.
But like I just can't believe that more people aren't like doing it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
crazy to me.
it's funny. The ones that do stand out on social media for me are the ones that have personality and like maybe it's not vulnerability, but maybe it's like I feel like I trust them. And
Yeah.
a good example, and I know Adam West.
I was gonna bring him up.
Adam West I've talked to him in person once, and it was at your event.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know that guy. I feel like I love that guy.
He's amazing.
And he's like, I'm super loyal to my preferred lender. So it's like, it's not like I'm sending Adam, but if someone's like, hey, I need to get a few quotes from lenders. Like, who do you recommend? Like, Adam's probably going to be one of those guys I send people to because
he's crushing it. And he would say
yeah,
the same thing as you. Like he gets most of his business from social media today.
And it's cool because on social media, you can have your personality. Like Adam, I feel like it's maybe like 30% he's talking about mortgages, and then the rest it's like root beer,
Hot
and
dogs and
yeah,
monsters and root beer.
exactly.
But see, look at that. We know exactly what his shtick is
Yeah,
because he's so consistent with it.
exactly.
And it's relatable.
But then you learn to like this guy, and then he posts that he's like a top lender in his company. And you're like, oh, I like this guy. He's funny. He seems like a trustworthy dude, and he just seems to be like a very competent loan officer.
Yeah.
So I think there's a way to, and that's something that I've struggled with, is trying to get my personality out on social media a lot more. Like I've been blessed to where I can invest in producers and like a content strategy and editors and that such. So I show up for a day, I batch my content out, but it's harder for me to show like my everyday life because of that.
Yeah.
So it's something that I've been playing with.
I don't know. I think you do a really good job at it. I like from my perspective, and I think we're always our own worst critics. But like I see a lot of family content, a lot of, you're golfing and all these things that you do, right?
Yeah,
And it's great. It's very relatable.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to get better too. But Joe, there's a question that I ask every guest on my podcast, and specifically Utah. And I know you've lived here. You live in California now, but you're very familiar with Utah culture.
Yeah.
And it's there's definitely the pros and the cons, but I've learned to absolutely love Utah's culture, and I feel like it's unique because people really, really value their business success, and it's a go-getter environment and a competitive environment, to say the least. But then on the other side, like a lot of them truly value like their family,
Yeah.
and I say balance, and I've since been Mythbusters has called me out and saying that it's almost extreme imbalance with go-getters, where you might have a season where you're traveling 3 out of 4 weeks, and then a season where you're traveling for 7 days to Maui and you're all in on your family, right?
Yeah.
Like, anyway, so I'd love to hear your perspective on like that chase for keeping family a priority and having business success as well.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I think Utah has like arguably one of the best business climates in the country. I mean, from a corporate standpoint, it's super friendly, but like the culture here is next to none, right? Like it is so good because it is like there's built into the culture here a work hard, like honest work, right? Not just work hard and like not really do a good job, but like an honest day's work. And when you do an honest day's work, that gives you time to be with your family, right? And it's not like, converse that to like a Bay Area or New York where it's all about the hustle and the grind and like showing up and being at the office for 15 hours a day, right? Like that's what's like valued. What's valued here is having like working hard and getting the time in and doing what you need to do, but then going home and being with your family. I think it's because, families are really important here. And like you see that in the workforce here. And something that like why we felt so at home living here is because that is like exactly how we feel, right? And my family and how I feel. And like trying to have a work-life balance sometimes can mean different things to different people at different seasons of their life, right? I think you kind of nail it with that. Like you have to accept that there are times when you do have to work harder and when you do have to like make those sacrifices, but you have to know that like it has to end at some point. And that when you are making those sacrifices, you also have to make sacrifices on the opposite end to like be present for your kids and your wife. Because when you have to have things that are non-negotiables that you have to be there for, right? Like I'm not missing birthdays. I'm not missing like big sporting events. I'm not missing, things that are really important to my wife. And you have to schedule. And sometimes you have to say no to things. And that's okay. And sometimes you just say no to the things that you really want to do, but are not part of the non-negotiables, right? Like I've missed first days of school before, right? And man, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I've done it, right? But like I would never like last week uh got invited to speak at like a client's conference, and it was also my son's 10th birthday, my youngest's 10th birthday. I'm like, I'm not missing my baby's 10th birthday to go speak at this conference. And luckily I got a team that can stand in for me, right? And that wasn't always the case, but like it's awesome to know that I've got such a great team that can like that are equally as good as I am, that I trust like implicitly to do this. Like I can pick anybody in my company to go do all these different things, and they're all like amazing. So
That's so
I feel
cool.
super blessed for that, right? Like that I have such a great team that we all work really hard and want to be good together, but like I will not miss things for my family. Just can't.
Yeah, that's admirable. I love that. How many employees are you guys at right now?
So we've got 15 in total.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so it's a small team.
Yeah, which is great. I
Yeah.
mean, you're lean and
Yeah,
that's
you don't need to grow, too big. It's funny. I was just talking with Jordan, who's our CTO, and we've worked together he was at SimpleNexus too, and he actually was the fifth person, so he came right after me. So we've worked together for a very long time. And we were saying, man, isn't it so funny we have such a small development team here, and when we had such a large development team 10 years ago with SimpleNexus, because that's just what you needed to have at the time. So like technology, and specifically like AI, like have made it so that you don't have to have as many people. And I feel like super lucky that we're like growing this company and scaling it in such a wonderful time of technology that allows us to scale smartly versus just hiring more bodies to make
Yeah.
it happen.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's so sweet. One last question I have for you, Joe,
Yeah.
before we wrap up. Those seasons where maybe like work is more demanding.
Yeah.
Whether it's travel, whether it's late nights, whatever it might be. I understand that time isn't what you're offering to your family, your kids, your wife. But I mean, is there any practices, any specifics that you've tried to be like present to your family in those crazy seasons? And I understand no one's perfect and it's always a learning game, but is there any like practices that you've tried to implement during those crazy seasons just to show up where you can?
Yeah, I mean, I think like when I'm gone, I really like to like keep the family group chat going pretty strong, and I'll like send pictures and like try to engage, ask, and like, but like, or I'll just text some of my kids, or like, like my youngest doesn't have a phone or anything, but like we'll FaceTime at night, even if
Yeah.
it's like, that quick, like in between the daytime conference to the dinner out, like you got to connect with your family every day while you're gone. And like, that is something that I'm like super specific about. Like I have to talk to my kids. I have to talk to my wife every day. And sometimes it doesn't work, like, cause the kids are at swim meets or whatever, but like, I think like they also just know your heart. Right. And I think if you are authentic about how much you love your family, like they will never like not know that that's true. And so it like the application or the practices of how you do that are different all the time, because it's just led by like what's going on at the time. But like if you keep those connections strong, and like, and then the times when you are home, you're not hanging out on your phone, you're like throwing the football around, you're going to like your kids' sporting events, you're hanging out at the home, you're helping them with their homework. Like you got to do what you can do when you can do it.
I love it. And yeah, I mean, the fact that we're in a day and age that we can't FaceTime, like
It's awesome.
Yeah, I feel blessed to be in that era. But Joe, you've been awesome. I appreciate you jumping on, dude.
No, thank you so much for having me. This was really fun, and I'm super impressed with all of that you've done, man. You're just like an inspiration to me.
I appreciate it. You're my inspiration. You can't say that. So
all right, well, how about this? We can inspire each other.
there we go. I love it. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man.